What's driving America's agricultural heartland to the edge? It's not drought, floods, or pests alone. It's a storm of global rejection, domestic policy shifts, and a world that's changing faster than our farmers can keep up. From overflowing silos to fields left unplanted, the corn industry, the backbone of American agriculture, is buckling under unprecedented pressure. A new law, dubbed the Big Beautiful Bill, is tightening the screws on farmers already struggling to survive. The world is turning away, markets are shrinking, and the burden of taxes and lost contracts is crushing the spirit of rural America. This isn't just a story about farmers, it's about every American who relies on the food on their table. Is your state among the top 10 regions teetering on collapse? Is your family's dinner still secure when the ground beneath us is shaking? Welcome to Top 10 America Beyond, where we uncover the stories that shape our nation's future. Stick with us as we count down the 10 states hit hardest by this crisis, starting from number 10 and working our way to the epicenter of the storm. If you find this story compelling, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to Top 10 America Beyond for more hard-hitting truths.
Top 10 America Beyond.
Number 10, Florida too cheap to compete. In Florida, the Sunshine State's ports like Jacksonville and Miami hum with activity, or at least they used to. By June 2025, thousands of tons of corn sat idle, unable to ship to markets in the Middle East, Caribbean, and Africa. Why? The price of US corn, at just over $4 per bushel, is so low it's disrupting local economies abroad. Countries like Kenya, Ghana, and Jamaica have tightened quotas, rejecting American corn not for quality, but because it threatens their own farmers' livelihoods. With a record-breaking 2025 harvest, over 95 million acres planted and 15 billion bushels produced, the US is drowning in corn. This surplus has slashed prices, turning an advantage into a liability. In Florida, packing plants have halted operations, drivers wait a week for a single trip, and the logistics system wobbles. Consumers feel the pinch as grocery prices creep up, with meat, milk, and eggs reflecting the chaos of a stalled supply chain. International media show African farmers holding signs, not against America, but for their own survival. Top 10 America Beyond sees a deeper truth here. Low prices, once a strength, now signal a system out of balance. When corn becomes too cheap to be fair, everyone pays a price. Let's remember that every kernel represents a community's hope, here and across the globe. This crisis in Florida sets the stage for a broader unraveling. Let's head north to see how another state is grappling with a different challenge. How do you think cheap corn affects farmers in other countries? Number 9, Missouri tinny pests, massive problems. In Missouri, a single fall armyworm egg, smaller than a needle's tip, can halt a $200,000 corn shipment. Since Q2 2025, markets like Japan, South Korea, and Europe have enforced strict quarantine protocols, rejecting corn with even a trace of pests. Missouri's warm, humid climate makes it a hotspot for these invaders, and a May 2025 USDA report found 14% of local corn samples failed quarantine standards due to egg traces or larvae. For zero-tolerance markets, one flaw is enough. Farmers face rejections or costly re-inspections, pushing some cooperatives to pivot to soybeans or livestock forage, crops with lower risks but slimmer profits. The ripple effect is brutal. Feed mills cut production, drivers lose routes, and consumers face a projected 7% hike in poultry feed prices, trickling down to eggs and meat. Top 10 America Beyond believes this isn't just about pests, it's about preparation. Farmers need better tools to fight invisible threats, and we must support them. Every rejected shipment is a reminder that small oversights can have massive consequences, but with innovation we can protect our harvests. As Missouri battles microscopic foes, another state struggles with a paperwork problem that's just as crippling. What could farmers do to prevent pest issues in their crops? Number 8. Tennessee, the traceability trap. Picture a container of corn stuck in a Memphis warehouse, not for quality issues, but because a Japanese buyer hasn't confirmed its electronic traceability code. In Tennessee, a key transit hub for corn from the central southern US, this is the new reality. Since 2024, markets like the EU, Japan, and South Korea demand GS1, standard traceability, digital records of a crop's origin, variety, sowing date, and storage conditions. But many small Tennessee farms still rely on handwritten notes or outdated Excel sheets. They don't resist transparency, they simply lack the tools. Canada, by contrast, offers free traceability software on low-cost devices, stealing market share. Containers sit idle, farmers lose orders, and many sell domestically at a loss. Top 10 America Beyond sees opportunity here. Tennessee could lead with simple, farmer-friendly apps for crop tracking. This crisis teaches us that technology, when accessible, can bridge gaps and rebuild trust. Let's empower our farmers to meet the world's demands. Tennessee's paperwork woes are just one piece of the puzzle. Let's move to a state where chemical residues are sparking distrust. How can small farms afford to adopt new technology? Number 7. North Dakota residues that repel. In North Dakota, a state once celebrated for stable climates and high yields, the phrase residue exceeded is becoming a farmer's nightmare. By early 2025, partners in the Netherlands, Denmark, and Singapore began cancelling orders after a June European Food Safety Authority report found 18% of North American corn samples, many from North Dakota, exceeded limits for pyrethrin and chlorpyrifos, chemicals still legal in the US, but restricted abroad to 0.01 parts per million. Rejections abroad lead to discounted sales at home as processing plants cite quality concerns. Even local consumers in Fargo and Bismarck are turning to Canadian or organic corn, despite 10 to 15% higher costs, fueled by media reports of tainted shipments. Top 10 America Beyond feels the sting of this betrayal. Farmers follow rules, yet lose trust at home and abroad. This is a call to align our standards with global expectations, ensuring our corn remains a symbol of quality. When doubt creeps in, it's our job to restore faith through transparency. North Dakota's chemical challenge is tough, but another state faces a natural foe that's just as relentless. What would you choose, local corn or pricey organic imports? Number 6. Louisiana weather's cruel blow. In Louisiana, the spring of 2025 brought a punishing cycle of extreme weather that upended corn harvests. Prolonged heatwaves scorched fields, only to be followed by flash floods that drenched unharvested crops, creating perfect conditions for mycotoxin contamination, a fungal issue that renders corn unfit for export. According to a July 2025 report from the USDA's Agricultural Research Service, 22% of Louisiana's corn exports tested positive for mycotoxins, exceeding the strict 15 ppb limits set by markets in Southeast Asia and the EU. As a critical logistics hub, Louisiana's port of Baton Rouge processes corn for the entire Gulf region, but these rejections have slowed operations to a crawl. Warehouses are backed up, trucking routes are slashed, and local feed processors have raised prices by 6.5%, driving up costs for poultry, dairy, and cooking oil. Farmers, already stretched thin, face mounting storage costs as they wait for buyers. Top 10 America Beyond sees a stark reality. Climate volatility is no longer a distant threat. It's here, and our farmers need help. Investing in climate-resilient storage and real-time weather forecasting could save harvests and livelihoods. Every waterlogged kernel is a reminder that we must act now to protect our food supply from nature's unpredictability. Louisiana's battle with the elements is a wake-up call, but another state is losing ground due to outdated technology. How can farmers prepare for extreme weather swings? Number 5. Minnesota outdated seeds, lost markets. Minnesota's cornfields stretch as far as the eye can see, but in 2025, they're growing crops the world no longer wants. Global buyers from Taiwan to Germany now demand corn varieties engineered for high nutritional density and resistance to climate stress, standards most Minnesota farmers can't meet. A 2025 study by the National Corn Growers Association revealed that 65% of Minnesota's corn acreage uses seed varieties over a decade old, lagging behind Canada's new hybrids, which boosted export shares by 10% in Asia. Budget cuts to Minnesota's agricultural research programs since 2024 have left farmers without access to modern seeds or training, while Canada's government-funded seed trials give their growers an edge. Export rejections have spiked 15% in Q 2025, forcing local feed mills to import costlier grains, which inflates egg and meat prices by 6.8%. Small farms, unable to afford new seeds, are selling at a loss or leaving fields fallow. Top 10 America Beyond believes this is a pivotal moment. Revitalizing seed research can restore Minnesota's place in global markets. Every outdated harvest is a chance to innovate, ensuring our farmers feed the world again. Minnesota's seed struggle is heartbreaking, but another state's labor shortage is reshaping its future. What kind of support do farmers need to access new seed varieties? Number 4. Texas, a labor exodus. Texas, with its vast plains and bustling border markets, was once a beacon for agricultural workers. But in 2025, fields lie quiet as labor shortages cripple corn production. New visa restrictions and reduced worker protections have driven thousands of seasonal laborers to Canada, where a 2025 expansion of the Seasonal Agricultural Worker Program offers stable contracts and health benefits. A Texas A&M University report estimates a 20% drop in farm labor availability in Q 2025, delaying harvests and leaving corn unprocessed. This has slashed exports to Central America by 12% as buyers turn to Canada's timely, well-documented supply. In El Paso, processing plants operate at half capacity, and local grocery prices for corn-based products have risen 7.2%. Farmers, some with decades of family legacy, are leasing land or seeking work elsewhere, their dreams fading. Top 10 America Beyond feels the weight of this exodus. When workers leave, they take the heart of agriculture with them. We must create fair, sustainable labor policies to keep our fields thriving. Every empty harvest is a call to honor the hands that feed our nation. Texas's labor crisis is stark, but another state's price problem is just as dire. What can be done to attract workers back to American farms? Number 3. Arkansas priced out of the game. In Arkansas, the hum of Little Rock's grain elevators has faded as global markets bypass American corn for cheaper, more consistent alternatives. In 2025, U.S. corn prices, averaging $4.90 per bushel, struggle against Argentina's $3.50 offerings, which boast streamlined quality certifications. A USDA trade report notes a 28% surge in Arkansas's unsold corn inventory, clogging storage facilities, and raising spoilage risks in the state's humid climate. Export markets in Africa and South Asia, once reliable, have shifted to Argentina, citing faster inspections and lower costs. This has forced local feed plants to cut output by 25%, laying off workers and hiking feed prices by 6.3%, which inflates costs for meat and dairy. Farmers face a brutal choice: store corn at a loss or sell domestically for pennies. Top 10 America Beyond sees a clear path forward, modernizing quality controls and investing in competitive pricing strategies can reclaim Arkansas's market share. Every stalled shipment is a reminder that adaptability is the key to survival in a global economy. Arkansas's price woes are tough, But another state's GMO barrier is even more daunting. How can farmers balance quality and affordability in their crops? Number 2. Illinois GMO's global rejection. In Illinois, green fields and full silos mask a silent collapse. Europe's rejection of GMO corn, citing health and environmental concerns, has gutted exports. The US system, built on GMO varieties like Syngenta's Bet11, can't pivot quickly. Canada's non-GMO shift won contracts in Europe, Japan, and the Middle East, leaving Illinois behind. ADM cut 700 jobs in Dakota, John Deere laid off staff as equipment sales tanked, and drivers' incomes dropped 30%. Feed prices rose $6.70 per ton, pushing meat and dairy costs up 8 to 12%. Top 10 America Beyond feels the frustration. Farmers need policy support to transition, not political debates. Illinois' pain shows that global trust is earned through change, and we must back our farmers to meet new standards. As Illinois reels, our final state faces a betrayal that cuts deepest. How can farmers shift away from GMO crops? Number 1. Iowa, a heartland betrayed. Iowa, the heart of corn country, is breaking. In July 2025, Japan, a decades ditched US corn for Canada's non-GMO supply after US tariffs on Japanese rice-soured relations. Canada's Buy Canadian movement sealed the deal, offering stability Japan craved. Iowa lost $1.2 billion in contracts in 3 weeks, shutting ethanol plants and clogging silos. Congress's failure to renew tax relief added $501,000 in annual costs per farm. Many abandoned fields or burned crops to save costs. Top 10 America Beyond mourns this abandonment. Iowa's farmers aren't failing, the system is. We must rally behind them with policies that restore markets and hope. Every unplanted field is a plea for unity to save our heartland. What can we do to support Iowa's farmers in this crisis? A call to action. This countdown through Top 10 America Beyond reveals a nation at a crossroads. From Florida's price wars to Iowa's broken trust, the corn crisis threatens not just farmers but every American's table. When global markets turn away and silos stand full, prices rise, jobs vanish, and communities fray. But there's hope. Invest in modern seeds, traceability apps, pest controls, and fair labor policies. Support our farmers with the tools to compete. No state is immune, and no dinner plate is untouched. Join Top 10 America Beyond in demanding change, because when farmers thrive, America thrives. Like, comment, and subscribe to keep these stories alive. And let's build a future where our heartland stands strong. What will you do to help America's farmers today?